Baik, selamat pagi. So, hari ini or today, we will have teaching English as a foreign language or TEFL. So, in this meeting or pertemuan hari ini, we will use the book Teaching English as a Foreign Language or TEFL in Indonesian Context, a practical guide for the reference. Okay, let me begin with teaching language skill. So in this unit, we will have topic about English language teaching skills. The learning outcomes. After the students have finished reading this chapter, they are expected to summarize the importance and main principles and techniques of teaching language skills, and then explain and evaluate techniques of teaching language skill. And the last one, select and adjust the techniques of teaching language skills in their classroom context. Teaching language skill techniques consists of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Well, today we will have listening. In this skill, we talk about the definition of listening. Listening is one of language skills that TEFL language learners need to acquire because listening is fundamental to the acquisition of other language skills, particularly speaking. Listening is important in classrooms since students need input to learn a language, in this case, English. Based on Van der Grief and Co. 2012, emphasized the importance of listening as it enables language learners to receive and interact with language input and facilitate the emergence of other language skills. Similarly, Richards 2005 and Phil 2008 suggest that listening is important for foreign language learners in developing their knowledge and language proficiency, as well as understanding spoken discourse. There are some purposes in listening activities according to Wilson 2008 and Van der Grief and Co. 2012. The first purpose is listening for global understanding. The second one is listening for selectively for specific information. The third one is listening for details. The fourth is inferential listening. The fifth is listening for main ideas, and the sixth point is listening and predicting. There are some listening sources, consist of teacher talk, and student talk. And then listening activity consists of pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening. And then now we move on to speaking skill. Speaking proficiency and communicative competence. So communicative competence consists of grammatical competence, sociolinguistic competence, discourse competence, and strategic competence. This is based on Canal and Swain 1980. Speaking proficiency is influenced by those components of competence. The relationship between the four components of communicative competence and speaking proficiency is illustrated in figure 3.1. This is the figure of speaking proficiency and components of communicative competence. So speaking proficiency consists of sociolinguistic competence, discourse competence, strategy competence, and grammatical competence. There are some techniques in teaching speaking. The first technique is small talk. It means teacher assigns students to make a short conversation. The second technique is discussion and group works. The third one is presentation. The fourth technique is role plays. The fifth technique is dialogue journals. And the last technique is using technology. Well, now we move on reading. Reading is a multidimensional intellectual activity which requires specific skills and strategies. Reading deals with a passive or receptive skill, and the objective of reading activities can be comprehension or intensive reading in the class, enjoyment or extensive reading out the class, speed reading consists of scanning and skimming, or accurate pronunciation, or in the other word, reading aloud. Some reading sub-skills consist of scanning, skimming, reading for details, inferring, predicting, inferring meaning from context, and identifying the text structure. Actually, there are some techniques in teaching reading. The first is KWHL. The second technique is PQ4R. And the last technique is SQ3R. Writing and teaching of writing consists of approaches of teaching writing in TEFL context, and then English writing system and Indonesian writing system. Next, problematic issues in teaching writing in Indonesia, and the process of writing and teaching of writing. For the assignments, each group do some exercises on Unit 3. So the first exercise 1 on page 90 up to 91. The second is exercise 2 on page 91. And then exercise 3 on page 91 up to 92, and exercise 4 on page 92 up to 95. For the scoring, each exercise has 25 points, so that each group that has finished all of the exercises in the textbook will get 100 points. There are some references. First is Lestari, Ida Puji, Fatima, Sudarwati, Emi, Astuti Yuni, 2021. The title of textbook is Teaching English as a Foreign Language or TEFL in Indonesian Context, a Practical Guide, published by UB Press, Universitas Brawijaya Malang. And the second reference is Brown H. Douglas, 2007. The title of the textbook is Teaching by Principle, second edition, published by Longman. I think that's all for the presentation. Thank you for your attention, and goodbye.